Greetings. Good evening, everybody. We are definitely on the Classic Touring Car Racing Club Facebook page, YouTube channel. We're having problems on my commentary one, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. It's playing silly games, which is annoying. But the good news is we're on the main one. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 19. I'm kind of multitasking, and they said that men couldn't do that. I'm impressed that I'm at least trying my best. The good news is we've got the big dog back again. Let's bring him out. Evening, mate. You look like you were stressing in the background there. What's wrong?
I was trying to tidy all the crap out from behind me, so it didn't look like I live in a mess. I was throwing couch chairs out of the way quickly.
It's your pub, mate. It's allowed to be a mess.
Yeah, I know, but I've tried to make it look like I'm an upstanding member of the community. So
we know you, mate. It's too
late. That's the problem you do. Yeah.
How the devil are you, dear boy?
I'm all right. I'm melting sitting in here. To be honest with you, I wish I'd invested in a fan, but yeah, we're all right. We're okay. Just
you know what? Nice. I bought a fan today for our studio, Visual PR Production Studio, and it cost me 220 quid.
Did it really?
For a fan.
That's because the man who sells fans is now like
yeah.
He's like the guy that sells race equipment at Spa. When you forgot your stuff when you go to Spa,
yeah,
there's a guy that sells the gloves and everything. Can you just walk over there sheepish with your credit card? That I haven't got my gloves. He's like, okay.
Yeah,
like, he hasn't got the cheap ones. There's no cheap ones there, right?
Yeah.
Having done this, I know exactly what happens.
I know. I had to do it though because we've got our new studio where clients come to us now, and the problem is, especially even before it was like this, is that the clients were there trying to act all cool in front of camera, and they're there sweating away. So I had to do something. But hey ho. The good news is,
is that the what's the studio? Is that where they do the auditions or something? I've seen one of them videos online.
No, there's no couch there, mate. No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was that. Sorry.
Definitely not, mate.
No, all right. Sorry, I wonder what
just in case the wife watches. You know, just in case. If it makes you feel any better, I've got a fan right now and it's blowing nicely on me. Does that make you feel better?
I'm absolutely melted. I've got a grey t-shirt on as well. Stupidly,
I'm wafting it towards you, mate.
Right, I've got some refreshments. Cool me down a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I haven't gone my usual gin. I've got the cider.
Yeah.
Dude, what have we had since we saw you? Pembrey. How did Pembrey go?
Really well, actually. I was surprised just how well it went. And thank you to everyone who took the sort of pilgrimage down there, a 10-year pilgrimage. Yeah, it went really well. The weather held out, which helped everything. I think it was a wet and windy. They're always very different race meetings. Yeah. When you're standing there and people are trying to strap their cars to the gazebo so they don't blow off when they go back to the hotels and stuff. Really well. Some great racing there, and a lot of points, as people will see from the point standings. Changed the championships quite a lot by doing the double points and the triple round. So for those who went down there, I think it was very worthwhile. They certainly got a jump on the other guys who didn't. So yeah, really pleased with how it all came out. I was very nervous, if I'm honest, about who would actually go and whether we'd lose our shirts financially. And we didn't. And it's a good thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we would rush back just yet. I think we'll probably give it another 10 years or so. But yeah, certainly very pleased with the outcome actually, and yeah, really great racing.
No, I haven't been there for quite a lot of years, and it's a place I haven't commentated at bizarrely. But it's a wickedly challenging one, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So I think it is one that you go to periodically, isn't it? And it's great fun when you do that.
I was really looking forward to it, and sadly I didn't go.
Did you not?
No, my daughter actually had a minor operation on that day. It was all lined up that we would go, and it was either going to be anyway. Family comes first, and all that business.
100%.
And yeah, I was a bit gutted I didn't go, if I'm honest with you, because I wanted to go in the first place. I enjoyed that circuit. I raced there many years ago, and it suits the Capri perfectly. Just you just sideways all the way around, and I just really enjoy it. And sadly, the operation was booked for 4 o'clock on the Friday when we was meant to be driving down there, so that was the end of it.
Yeah, no,
that was it. And actually, there's a party thinking, "Oh, should I?" No, it's just a really bad idea. So, if it was Brands, I probably could have made it there on the Saturday or Sunday. But as it was so far, I just couldn't. I didn't have the time to get there.
Fair enough. I mean, I hosted the racing school at Castle Combe the other weekend, and Mr. Craig was there, and he was not happy that I kept not taking a mickey, but reminding him that his car went bang in qualifying and he missed 3 races while he watched his son have great fun on it. But the bad news was, to make it worse, is that he got a blowout on his trailer on the way home. Bless him.
That's horrible.
The only thing I could do to make it better was bring it up every time I introduced him to his students.
It is horrible when things like that happen, isn't it? You just want to go home.
Exactly, and that was the only reason why. And he was quite appreciative, is that we just had a laugh about it, because you could. That's all you can do, isn't it? At the end.
Absolutely, I think once you pass the point of anger, yeah, you're you just got to sort of get on with it and shrug your shoulders and keep moving forward.
Sometimes you just go. Have you ever had that moment where more things just happen and you just literally go, "Yep."
I had my old Range Rover, God bless it. We was going to Brands Hatch once, and it caught fire. With the trailer on at the back, I was at the junction with the N25, and the alternator just had anyway, its spark was coming out of it, and some guy said to me, at the traffic lights, like, "Mate, there's smoke coming out your car," and there's a smoke bellowing out the bonnet of my old Range Rover, and yeah,
wow,
it's very annoying and a bit embarrassing. We got a Capri on the back as well.
Well, it looks like it was a busy weekend. It was a triple header. We've got all sorts of things. Just to give a quick synopsis of the championship standings, James Ibbotson now leads the pre-66s by a little way now, actually, 139. Yeah, he's done well out of that, hasn't he?
Yeah, very much so.
Over Grant Williams on 103 and Ian Thompson on 102. So there's only 1 point separating second and third. And then Piers Grange and Barry Syme both on 94. So, I mean, it's really, really close from second backwards. We've still got Brands Hatch, Snetterton and Silverstone to come. So there's a lot still yet can happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of points on the table. You know, Brands Hatch is 4 championship races. Every single point counts. And anything can happen with just those grids that big and that many people out there. It's all to play for, that's for sure.
It really
Hopefully
is.
It goes all the way down to Silverstone, but I suspect it might not this year.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you can never really tell, can you?
No.
I'm surprised nobody's come in with comments. So if you are watching, feel free to add comments and questions.
Nobody likes us anymore, Chris. That's all it is. It's fine.
Well, I'm going to just make sure it's working, because this thing has caused me the odd problem. So no, it's fine. It is working. I've just done a test just to prove it. Look, that I am that needy. I actually did the word test.
Yeah. You're the guy that emails himself to check his emails working.
Yeah, absolutely. Pre-83s. Oh, there we go. There's a number of other. Tom Davis says it's that time of year already. Looking forward to next weekend. Wait, Tom, we'll move on to Super Touring Live in a minute. Mark Finney says, evening, guys. Evening, mate. Good to hear from you. So they are here. Good to see it. Pre-83s, Jonathan Corker leading the way on 121 points. Neil Philpotts and Nick Williamson in the Class B cars on 105 and 101, and only 91 to Nick Grindrod. So that's pretty darn close, to be fair. But Jonathan Corker in his Datsuns looking pretty good there, isn't he, so far?
Yeah, he's looking very good. He can pedal that car for sure. He's very good at driving it. Again, who knows what Brands actually is going to bring up?
That's the thing. You genuinely can't relax at all, can you? Especially not in motor racing.
No.
Chris Collins says, good evening, gents. Hope all is well with you both. Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated, buddy. Pre-93s, Will Davison leading the way on 122. Ian Bauer on 106. Then there's quite a gap. Kevin Willis on 68.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, quite a gap between second and third. But it's Class B all the way at the moment on that pre-83, the Track Hub UK pre-83 touring cars.
93.
93, sorry, did I say 83?
Yeah.
I
just correct you, you know that.
Thanks, mate.
I
know you got my back. Bertie Haulage pre-03 touring cars. Dave Cave on 100. I've got to say, Dave, David Cave is a nightmare for commentators because I keep getting it wrong. Dave Cave. Same as we've got a guest down below us, and he knows I keep getting his name wrong as well in the commentary.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, my wife had to tell you how to say my name after 3 years of saying it wrong.
It was the same weekend that I got told yours.
I was too polite.
Yeah. I felt awful as well to both of you.
I bet you didn't feel that bad deep down, really. I mean,
Brian didn't care too much. It's fine.
No, Brian. They called him Brian. The poor
Thankfully,
man.
I can report he is chuckling. Otherwise, I was done. I was out.
I didn't know you got it, Brian. Anyway,
I did. Because literally, when you're commentating, you're quickly looking, and then you just instantly just say what you see. And you get it wrong. So he's had enough apologies from me. He's looking at the big map he's got on the wall. He's about to put a pin where he's going to throw me in a minute. So that's fine.
Fair enough.
So Bertie Haulage pre-03s, David Cave on 100, Simon Mann on 64. Great to see Simon Mann up there as well, isn't it? Because he had so much bad luck last year. Yeah,
I mean, he's second in the championship overall.
That's the Cadbury liveried.
It is indeed, yes. It is indeed. So
that's good to see.
It's good. And then you've got AJ third. I think that was just a guest appearance of AJ. I'm not so sure if he's going to race. Well, he's certainly not racing at Super Tour Power. I know that. Although he might be watching this. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see. We made some changes with the Pro 3 Championship. Basically, because we only had 2 cars turn up, and we can't run a championship with 2 cars. No. So we had allowed slicks back on again in a trial basis. It seems to kind of work. So I believe we're going to continue that. It's not always, we probably didn't communicate as well as we should have done to drivers, but it was just out of panic for losing a lot of. We were going to lose money. You can't run 2 cars, and otherwise. So that was the option you have. Either don't run it or run it with slicks. So that's where we went. And hopefully that entices people back because, as we know, the second-hand slicks on the Civics certainly are cheap as chips. They're like, I don't know, 15 quid or something. Someone's saying. I don't know. They're very cheap. I don't actually know the exact price, but they're a lot cheaper than Toyos, that's for sure. And slicks, brand new slicks, are horrific, as I've just found out, especially ones for Cavaliers. My drinks assistant has just given me some water because he said you're guzzling your cider down. I am so thirsty. I didn't want to. Otherwise, I'll start singing rude songs or something.
And you know, I'd just encourage you, mate. So
You
I'm no
mute
good to you.
me. You mute me.
I wouldn't. Not if you started singing songs like that, mate. I'd turn you up and mute everyone else.
We have two. I was talking about this earlier. I said it was we have two rules on this, don't we? I can't swear or badmouth anybody.
That'll go out the window, mate.
Yeah,
Get the water down you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Adam Moore says, evening, mate. BB Lonks 22 asked the question, and I know I'm jumping ahead with this, but I'll put it up while I remember. For the races with pre-93s, will the RS 500 be split from the field like Super Touring Power 2?
Yeah. Talked to Colin about this, and they're going to put a gap there, so it's very clear. There is it's quite, like we work our nuts off to get the Clark cars, and people that speak with me, Colin, Sonia, Adam, everybody else who gets involved getting cars in and helping people get in time. The Group A stuff, we didn't put much effort in, if I'm honest. And there's just tons of them, like tons and tons of M3s, RS 500s. The guys are bringing over the Texaco Rover. The Texaco Rover is coming over. It's currently on a boat somewhere in the ocean, and has been for some time. It's like some genuinely. So yeah, the Group A stuff, or pre-93s, if you want to put it like that, is mega, absolutely mega. And as I say, old Jeremy Sutton's got Tom Ingram out in his car.
Really?
So, yeah, Tom Ingram's going to do it. I think he's friends with his. I think Jeremy knows he's friends with his dad or something, and they sort of said, "Oh, look, do you think you drive the car?" And then yeah. So yeah, Tom's out in an RS 500.
That's well worth it, isn't it? I mean, Jake Hill last year was just on another planet, wasn't he? And I always find that interesting when you've got these pro drivers, and you go, "Well, surely there's not that much difference," and then you throw them in something, and you go, "How are they doing that?"
Yeah. I must admit, that's why. When you go out of Goodwood, we did the members meeting, and I was absolutely, as people watching this will know, I was absolutely on it in my head, absolutely on it. Every corner, I thought I was going to die, and I got out, and I was about 4 seconds slower. Everybody, than all the professional drivers, and I was like, "There you go."
I tell you what,
I'm not the greatest, but 4 seconds. Come on, man.
Well, I tell you what, the interesting, and this is what I love about GT racing these days that I cover a lot as well. And David Brabham and Paul Bailey. Paul Bailey is obviously the AM, and David Brabham we know is very much the pro. And last season, he helped Paul Bailey get something like 6 seconds a lap around the Brands Hatch GP circuit. Wow. And it was either 3 or 4 seconds a lap at Snetterton, and it was just working on those little things. And Paul Bailey was just like absolutely loving this, and it's just incredible. But you think surely there's not that much there. It's an area that amazes me. It really does. It just I never get bored watching or commentating on that. It's so interesting.
The pro drivers are in the cars all the time, aren't they? I mean, that's their job. They're absolutely in, and they're instructing, and they're in cars 7 days a week. So it's just.
But I get the impression the only way you can really gain from them is trusting them implicitly. If they tell you to do something, if you can disconnect your self-preservation and do what they tell you, is when you then break through that barrier that goes, oh, so I can do that.
yeah, he's frightening though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're normal, if you're a normal person, and you're like, hang on a minute, I was at my desk yesterday fixing computers.
Yeah, exactly that. Chris Collier asked the question, Stuart, have you had to bench pre-2013 for the time being, not seen much more about it since pre-season?
Yeah. There wasn't many cars. In fact, one car signed up for it, and that was it. Oh, wow. What happened, as you know, I think I mentioned previously, was I got told off by the man that owns Touring Car for referring to certain specs of cars in my in a promo, and so we had to have a little rethink about that one. He emailed me from Australia to tell me off about it. So,
oh wow,
that's what happened with that. It's never. We're going to go revisit it, but it kind of caught us off guard, and we just had a little rethink, and we'll come back to it next season. It's all there. Colin had written the regs. We originally wanted 2-litre turbocharged cars after 13, so pre-13, sorry, so your minis, etc. Some touring cars of that era that could fit in their 2-litre turbo cars. But there was a general, he just got upset basically because he mentioned a spec of car that he owns the rights to using the word for.
Or 3 letters to be precise.
Maybe.
Yes, please, love. I'll have another full can, thank you. Sorry,
What are
currently.
you on? What are you on? Is it? What are you on? The
I can't really.
Oh, you're on the haze. You're on the haze, isn't it?
Well, it's sunny, isn't it, mate? You know, it's BBQ weather. That was the 3 letters I meant, wasn't it? BBQ.
Yeah, BBQ. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Finishing off the championship standings. Well, not finishing off. I've got a few more to do. Burton Power Blue Oval. Tim Mizzen's leading the way on 128. He's doing well there. 128.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Robert Taylor 91. Sam Daffin in 3rd. Seriously, if that boy didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck, would he?
I know.
Bless him. My heart always.
And he won a race at the weekend. Actually, he won a race. It was a different club, but he won a race. Yeah.
Yeah, and that included beating Lappin, I think, didn't he? Richard Hammond.
Really?
I think so. I think I saw a wicked video. Park 'em up.
I didn't watch the same videos as you.
I think I did. He went past that MG.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, well done.
No, exactly. One of the nicest guys ever. He's so lovely. PRG Trailers Classic Thunders. Ian Bowers leading the way in 122. Sean Morris on 3rd in 90, both Class C. Ross Craig, who had a better day than his dad Ian. He's in 3rd at the moment in his Class D car on 68. Oliver Owen in 4th. RickyCan.com, Historic Thunders. Ricky Can is leading the way. Can you do that? Can you lead the championship you sponsored?
I think he's proving the point. I think he's proving that you can.
He is. And that Aston Martin at Speedfest, American Speedfest the other weekend with Sam Wilson driving it again was just incredible. It was just flying. Man. Yeah, it really was. So Ricky Can leads the way on 86. Colin Voice on 71. Then there's a bit of a gap and you got Melvin Hooker and Martin Reynolds on 25 and 22. And finally in the Super Tourers, and then we'll start moving forwards a little bit. Roger Stanford leading the way on 22, Jim Pocklington on 14, and Rick Carey in 3rd.
Yep.
And anything else that I haven't covered really on the championship standings at the moment?
No.
We still, like you say, we've still got plenty of fat to go, haven't we? Because we've got, in effect, 2 race meetings, haven't we? On the 28th and 29th, there's 2 separate meetings, isn't it? Really?
It is, yeah. It is.
What, first day on the GP, second day on the Indy?
Yeah, with the qualifying on both, because they are 2 different layouts.
Exactly. How do you, as a driver, you know, being the pro driver that you are, how do you deal with those 2 days? I mean, is there much difference between the 2 days?
Yeah, there is. You know, the Indy and the Grand Prix and the Indy are 2 very different beasts. Certainly, Clearways becomes a completely different corner when you're flying towards it off of a straight, and I never get it quite right because you brake later and later, and it's still probably too early. It's great, you know, great format. It was great that MSV let us do it. The conversation really did start over a cup of coffee at MSV Towers at Brands Hatch with David and Joe. They said, look, you know, why don't we try and do? You've got to have the Grand Prix to get people there. Like, that's the thing that people want to do, is the Grand Prix. You know, people, the Indy's the Indy. We can all do it any other weekend. You can't always do the Grand Prix circuit. And so that was the poll, really. And in the rest, as they say, was on a history, really. You know, they've let us do it for 3 years. There's discussions about what we'll do in the future at the moment. We're certainly not killing it, but I'm not really sure. I don't want it. I never wanted it to become a meeting that becomes boring. That's the right word I want. I don't want it to become boring. I don't want it to become just like part of the woodwork. I feel like sometimes other meetings, it's like, oh, are you going to do it this year? No, I ain't going to do it this year. I'll do it next year. It's like, no, this is a special thing, and we want to try and keep it special. It's very difficult, and even though we've had to put the price up this year, which is, I think it's at the top limit of where the clubman would pay to go racing. If I'm honest, at 775, and I don't think it should go any further. But we are literally, that's kind of break even because it's 2 race meetings. You'd pay 500 quid to do the GP circuit, and the Indy's 450 now anyway. So there's already that discount factored in. But yeah, it's a special meeting. And I think this year, with the amount of external sideshows I think I want to put on as well, it's just, we've got the racing, but we've also got Tamiya are very involved. They're bringing the model kits again as the prizes. Yes. We'll have a conversation because Byron's sitting there quietly sitting there, and he's been organising the sponsorship for us. So I'll let him announce a few other things. There's a huge amount of trade there, huge amount of trade stalls that will come along, model shops and stuff that I like, to be honest with you. But model shops, T-shirts, touring car this, touring car that. Colin Turkington's out there in a touring car. There's a lot of. It'll be good. I think it'll be good. If it stays as bloody hot as this, I think everyone's going to be melting as well. But it's got a better vibe about it. I think last year, if I'm honest with you, I think we got lazy. The first year was very a huge success, and I just assumed the second one would be as well. And it just kind of was all right, but it wasn't as good. It's like when you have a good Friday night out, you go out with your mates, you have a right laugh, and then you go out Saturday as well, and it's good, but it's not quite as good as Friday was. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. Yeah. That's how it felt. That's the only way I can describe it. It was brilliant, and it was brilliant racing and beautiful cars and very nice people, and I love seeing everybody, but it just weren't quite right. And this year, I think we took a step back, reflected on that, and we've hit it hard right from a year ago when we knew we had the track time booked. And I think this one's now gone above and beyond, but we shall see.
Fair dues. I mean, I was just looking today at what's on the go. So obviously, the title thing is the Super Tourers Racing, and we'll come on to entry lists in a moment. We got special demonstrations, including Super Tourers, a range of iconic race cars from that era. Also, the Autosport stage with a number of heroes on there. You got Colin Turkington. He's racing an ex-Plato 2000 Vauxhall Vectra on Saturday, switching to his former MGZS from 2002.
Yeah.
I saw this one get announced as well. Charlie Cox as well as being a special guest. The voice of that era.
Yeah, he's coming along. It'd be
the
really good
co-voice, we should say, really, shouldn't we? He was the co-voice to some extent.
Yeah.
Tom
a
Ingram.
Jealousy there, wasn't there? So there's a bit of jealousy there, Chris.
Well, no, wasn't it the same? Wasn't that the same era as Murray Walker? Was he still?
It was indeed, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm afraid he's.
It was a bit of a crossover, and then it went over to. Yeah, I know. I'm joking you.
Hang on, just who else we got? Tom Davis says, looking forward to seeing the Legends Cars Championship on the GP circuit. Are they on the GP circuit?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They got because they're MSV now. They get a GP meeting.
Wow, that's a fair shout. They're going to be interested around that one. I agree with that, Tom.
Yeah.
We had them at Speedfest the other weekend. Brendan Rooney, hello, mate. Evening all. Will Brands be a rolling start like last year?
Yes, all races are a rolling start.
Are they? All of them?
Because of time, not because of anything else. Because of time.
Including on the Sunday on the Indy as well?
I was told all races today. I spoke to Andrew outside and he said all races. So I would assume that means all.
Okay.
I'll double check in the finals, but yeah, he said all.
Fair enough.
Because
I've got it in front of me.
Yeah, the timetable is very, very tight. And there was a view that Rolling Start would obviously save some time for the sort of dicking around, putting people in the grid slots, etc.
Is that a technical phrase?
It is, yeah. Yeah, sorry, that's a weird word. I apologise, everybody.
I'm just trying to see. It doesn't. Yeah, all grids will have green flag and we'll have a rolling start. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it is. I spoke to Andrew this afternoon. I asked him if there's anything he wanted me to talk about on the show. And that was it. He's wanted to talk about that, and also to talk about.
Is that Mr. Outerside?
Yes, it is Mr. Outerside. Yes,
top bloke, top bloke.
Drivers' briefings, which are on the timetable. Timetable will send out in the next day or so. It's all done, dusted. So yeah, we'll get everything out and everything nice and early. But should we get poor old Byron, who's been sitting there very quietly?
We can do if you want. Let me just make sure I've got all the stuff that's coming about this stuff. Tom Ingram,
we'll be there till tomorrow. Yeah.
He'll be racing a Ford Sierra RS 500 in the Group A event. Anthony Reid, he'll be taking part on the Autosport stage. Patrick Watts, he'll be demonstrating his Group A MG Metro Turbo. There's a gaming tent as well with Toka and Toka 2 on the go.
Yes. So I've never actually made it across, because we always get caught up in trying to sort stuff out. I've never made it to the sort of village bit, but they are. Yeah, they've got Toka, and there's a lot going on over there. No funfair though, but anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. We don't.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, no, we don't go there.
The paddocks open as well, and the garages, so you can get up close to the car. There's also Road to Race, celebrating the road-going versions of different touring cars. That's new for this year. Don't miss on the rare opportunity to see period-correct examples share the road with the fully fledged race counterpart. Plus, we've got a number of the older touring cars on static display as well. Free grid walk on Sunday, subject to timings, autograph sessions, trade stands, etc., etc. I mean, it's just bumper. I mean, MSV really do put the show on, as I know from a lot of the ones I do with them, as you know. Great question, this one. Brian E. Clark says, any Volvos on track this year? And I'm sure that means especially the estate. I don't know where they are these days.
I don't know if they've got it going or not. I know the car was meant to be there in the show. It wasn't going to be in the race.
No.
Because the chap had purchased it, but I knew it wasn't going to be in a race. The answer is I don't know. There won't be any in a race, certainly, but they may be on the demonstration.
Oh, and someone obviously knows because Chris.
Yes, and there's a Volvo estate, a different Volvo estate going in the Pre-03 Championship from Sweden.
Got you. Yes, he says in the Pre-03. Okay, so that's a different one, though.
Yeah. Yes, that isn't actually the touring car.
Okay, yeah, we got a pair of. The same one driven by two people, the Volvo V70. Suzanne and Carlson and Jimmy Petterson are obviously sharing that one. So that's.
I've been told. Cool. I've just been texted by Peter Steele, who said the Volvo will definitely be there, the Volvo estate. I don't know whether it's going to be moving or not, but it's definitely going to be there.
It is such a classic. Although Chris Collier said, I noticed the Volvo estate has disappeared from MSV site.
Don't know.
Never know. Fingers crossed is that it'll be there, because it was. I watched a video actually. It was on social media. That was when they launched that Volvo estate that year in the touring cars, and it showed the faces of all the other British touring cars.
Tim Harvey's face, wasn't it?
And they were like,
"What the? Yeah,
what's this all about?" Yeah. And yeah, it was wicked, wasn't it? It was a really, really good one.
Yeah, there's a cool lineup of cars in the show that Peter's put together as well. Some BMWs, Bob Jones's Laguna will be there. A number of cars that have not been seen for a long time. There's a lot all the way along behind. I don't know what they call it. Is it Colin Chapman Way they call it, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
All the way along there, the big touring car. Basically, the cars that are either are not ready to race or the owners don't want to race them, which I fully understand. So yeah, there's a lot going on and off the circuit this time. We felt we just wanted to make it the best we possibly could for this sort of final event in this period.
Is yours out in that? Yes, it is. Your Cavalier's out.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm going to ask you then, because you're there. What is it like suddenly owning a touring car from that famous era and you have it, you not only are able to look at it, but you get in and then take it out on track. I mean, speak to us minions. What the hell is that really like?
It's amazing. Do you know what? It's just I lumped in my throat when I first got it because the old man would have loved it, but he's no longer with us. The fact that his son had a touring car, and it just got. You know what? Like the other cars are amazing, but the feeling between that and a works car, that the car's better than I am by about 10 million years. It is, and you know, Jason Minshaw was saying about the car. He said the problem is with the Super Tourers, you have to grab them by the scruff of the neck and absolutely wring their necks, and it's a bit daunting doing that, and it takes a while to get your head around the fact it's not going to kill you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just, if you turn left, it just goes left. Like if you just move your arm, it just goes, and that's
Really?
it. It's where it wants to go. You go right. It just go. It just. It's perfect. It's better than I am. Whereas I'm used to being in a Capri where you're kind of a bit sideways and it's a bit this and a bit that. It's just night and day. Which is why we're just going to take the Cavalier this time. Because I was jumping in and out of the Capri and the Cavalier last time, and I was
It took its toll, didn't it?
Yeah, I was absolutely knackered, to be honest. And it just, I didn't really enjoy it. It became like a chore. So, the Cavalier is amazing. We need to spend more time in the car and working on it and getting me quick, to be honest. It's not the car. The car's absolutely fine. It's me.
But they are as amazing as we would imagine them to be then.
Yeah, it's it's the works of art. They're just lovely old cars. And being out on that grid for all the pain and sweat and all the the money that is involved in trying to get them, when you're going, you're sort of coming on to clearways and the lights are off on the safety car and he goes in and you think, and everybody's there and you think, this is just amazing. It's just, I used to sit like everybody else and sit on their PlayStation and play soccer, and to be out there is great. They're just great cars. And that you can see by the following that they have, right? You look on social media, you look at the entry list that was sent out today, the amount of replies and likes and all the rest of it. The cars are the stars, not us. It's people come to see the cars, not some fat bloke from Erith. They they come to see the cars, and I always let people sit in the car and take photographs, and let people, they've got their children, let them in there, and that's the cars are stars. They always will be.
I love that. It was just good to get that insight into it in having one of those ones. I will pick up that Chris is right, is that the Volvo has actually disappeared off of the website as one of the cars that's there. So I don't know whether maybe there's an issue there. But one that I noticed that was added, because I've just had a look, was Rob Austin's old Audi A4. What was that called?
Sherman.
That's it, Sherman, and it is in that original livery now as well. I say now because it was worded as though maybe it got changed, but it's back. But great to see that Sherman will be there as well.
No, exactly. And the owner, Nigel, owns the car. He's going to demo it, and he's a great guy actually, and very keen to support the club. So it's nice to see. And again, it's kind of evolving into what we'd always said. It was going to be a touring car festival of everything. Yeah. Not just super tourers, not just Group A. Everybody who loves touring car racing through the ages. You've got to remember the pre-66 stuff, that Lotus Cortinas and the rest of it out there, the Capris, the Mustangs, whatever is out. Real, just a celebration of touring car. I should add as well, Andrew Jordan is also demonstrating a car. He's demonstrating the Spa-winning Bastos BMW. For some reason, it's not been announced yet. It is happening. I know that because I talked to him yesterday. So the car, the owner of the car, he doesn't want to race the car, or he doesn't want it raced, but he wants it to be in a demonstration. So Andrew Jordan's going to drive it round and round.
Fantastic.
So he'll be down with us in the garages. So there's some cracking stuff. You've got Alex Sidwell's bringing some. He's one of his V8s from Australia to demonstrate as well. One of his rarer cars, so that'll be out. So there's a bits and bobs there. There's Brands. I was talking to the guys at Brands. I think they've been slightly short-staffed recently, was one reason or another, and that's why they've not announced as many cars that are coming. But there's a lot of tin coming, as they would say.
There is. Right, very quickly before, and I will bring Byron in. He's been ever so patient, bless him. And we're going to get messages from people that know him to say that's unusual, I'm sure. But he's been there ever so patient. The smiles are getting less now. I can see in the background there. In terms of the Super Tourers entry, we've got, I've got to say, Stu, is that the entry list for the Super Tourers is hugely impressive.
It's right, isn't it?
I haven't counted it. Did you count
21.
how many there were?
It is 21.
21 Super Tourers. Are they on their own grid this year?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, because I know
throughout every single race. So on the Saturday we've done a single race, but with a 25-minute qualifying, a 20-minute race. Basically, the one and only reason was to make sure that the cars survived till Sunday. So we didn't put through 2 races, shunting them around everywhere. So the drivers get the same amount of time out on track as they would if they were running a 15-minute and 2 races, but it just would take less of a toll on the cars, and it's critical that we make sure that the cars are running on Sunday as better or many as we can, because last year a lot broke, and people did actually complain. To be honest, people did actually write letters to MSV, etc. So there wasn't many cars left. So we've taken that step. We did speak to the drivers about it. So it'll be a sort of in the sort of mid to late afternoon, I think, on Saturday. And there's the feature race, of course. There'll be the grid walk and all the bits and bobs building up to it. But it just means we've got a little bit more time, and we just don't rush it, and we do it properly, and we have a good race, and a good, nice, safe race as well.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, it was a tricky one for us in the box as well, to some extent, I can assure you.
Well, it was, wasn't it? I mean, there wasn't many cars finished it, you know, even something happened to my car. I can't even remember what it was I broke, but it was, it was, you know, it was wasn't many cars left. And we've got
exactly. But I mean, you look at this. So John Whelan in the Opel Vectra, Robert Salisbury, a Honda Accord ST. Stop me if there's anything special that you want to say about any of these as I'm going through.
ST, we just say Super Tour next to it, so it's just just Super Tour. That's all it is. That's all that's there for.
David Power, Ford Mondeo, Alan Walter, Scott. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yep. That Mondeo was fully rebuilt after he had an accident in Super Tour Power 1. You might remember the Mondeo, remember that? And that car's been rebuilt. A great guy, and he's come back to support us again, so we appreciate that.
Love it. Alan Walter Scott in the Mazda 323.
Yep.
21 Matthew Evans in a Vauxhall Cavalier Super Tourer.
Yep.
That's presumably an equivalent to yours, is it?
It is, yes. I think his car was a Spa car, if I'm really right in saying so.
Okay. Colin Souter in the familiar Peugeot 406. Good to see Jason Hughes back again in his MG ZS. Dodgy geezer Stuart Caie in the Vauxhall Cavalier, or should I say Stuart Caie? Paul McCarthy in a Mazda Zidos British touring car.
Yeah. Patrick Watts car.
Say what?
It's the ex-Patrick Watts car, the purple car.
Yes, I thought it was. AJ out in the Ford Mondeo, which is great to see. It was quite an emotional. That was the good thing that came out of last year. It was quite an emotional victory on Sunday. James Pocklington out in his Cavalier. Alexander Morgan in the Astra Sports Hatch. Roger Stanford, the championship leader, out in his Astra. Rick Kerry, Peugeot 406 Coupe. Nigel Arkle in a Honda Accord. Elliot Dunmore in a Vauxhall Astra touring car, the 888 car.
Yeah, so that was the car that was discovered in the one that's been on social media for a long time that was scrapped. And they discovered the car, I think it was at college or something, I'm not quite sure.
Wow.
And he's rebuilt the car over the last 4 or 5 years. So this will be its first official race meeting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that because he's put a lot of effort into building that car. That is
cool.
It was just a shell. I think it was a shell on a pallet, that kind of situation. And
where do you get an engine for this kind of car then?
It's just fine. It's so, do you know what? There's loads of bits flying around. There's lots of people. I find that lots of people seem to help each other and say, well, actually, I know this. And someone will come up and say, you know what? Have you spoken to old Dawesy? He's got a couple of engines in his shed. And it's not like, you know, it's not something there's no phone numbers. There's no, on Facebook, you're not going to find something. Someone will come to you and go, you got a Cavalier. Well, I've got the bit because they know you're the only person who wants their bits.
Yeah.
So they know they can sell them to you. You know, anything that comes along. Oh yeah, I'll have that. Yeah, wing mirror. Yeah, cool, it's great. I'll have it. So yeah, it's a bit like that. And I assume Elliot's done a lot of that. Although he's an engineer, and I believe he might have made some of the bits himself. I'm not sure. But,
which is still pretty cool.
It's still it's an absolute credit to him, that vehicle.
That
and I'm really looking forward to seeing it in the flesh.
Yeah, that's going to be good. The legend Colin Turkington, he's doing a lot of GT racing this year, of course, out in the Vauxhall Vectra. Scott O'Donnell in a Ford Mondeo, Conrad Timms in a Ford Mondeo. This is blooming cool. Michael Lyons out in a Honda Accord Super Tourer. Michael Lyons, of course, he races a lot of the classic Formula Ones and things like that.
He does indeed. So those last 4 cars there, in fact, the Mazda, the 2 Mondeos at the bottom there, and Michael Lyons and Kane Scott, they're all coming over from New Zealand on the ship as we speak.
Wow.
So, and Nigel, sorry, forgive me, Nigel, in the Honda Accord. That is also, and it's going to be tight because they're arriving next week, I think. But
wow.
Yeah, it's the mammoth effort they've put into to come to Super Tourer Power. So I do thank them. And you got Kane Scott right at the end.
Yeah, Kane Scott,
very famous in New Zealand.
Is he?
As if you put Kane Scott in the old Google, tell you all about him.
I'm going to have a look now. I am intrigued.
He's a very famous man.
I mean, that is cool.
My boss is a Kiwi and tells me all about it.
A fair dues. Well, I mean, I know you say the car's the star, but there is some pretty amazing drivers that are going to be out as well. And yeah, I mean, Michael Lyons, I've commentated on him countless times in some amazing historic machinery. Lovely guy and blooming quick. Really is blooming quick from a family that are obsessed with motor racing. So that's pretty cool. It is.
That race is going to be crazy.
I'm not going to get a chance to go through the rest of the entry list in reality, but safe to say for every class we're looking really, really good already. Are you full, or do we encourage people to get entries in?
We've still got some space. There's currently 150 cars booked in. We still have a bit of space in pre-66 on the Saturday if you want to do Saturday only, but you won't be able to do 66 on the Sunday. You know, we can find, if you've got a car and you're watching this, just ping me an email or chat me or whatever, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Cool. Fair dues, mate.
We're going to cut off on Friday. We're going to cut off entry on Friday because we want. I don't want it
this Friday.
This Friday. I don't want it to be, from our perspective, from an admin perspective. You know, you make this, you know, clashes of numbers, clashes of this, and I just want it nice and straight, and we've got it all laid out. Everyone knows what they're doing. The clerks have got all their paperwork. Barker got theirs, and MSV got theirs. So I want to just say no more entries after Friday.
Fine. No, that's fair. That's a week and 1 day away, isn't it?
It's just been open since Christmas, right? And it's now very sunny.
Yeah,
as you can see by the sunburn.
Yeah. Chris Collins says, great to see the Aussie and Kiwi guys coming back over with their cars, as were great at the first event.
Yeah, they're great guys, and you know, they get stuck in and they enjoy their racing. They take it seriously, but they enjoy their racing, and I'm really appreciative of the effort they put in. And again, bring Group A cars with them as well.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I need to bring him on because we've been really mean.
Poor man's been sitting there forever.
And despite all the joking, I do apologise. So I'm going to bring him out now, and he's going to tell us about a few other bits and pieces that we can look forward to on the weekend in terms of prizes and things like that. The boy works hard. Let's bring out Byron Aldous.
Good evening.
Hello, mate. You're still awake.
I am. I was quite happy sitting there watching you, listening to you guys chat away. That would have done me, to be honest.
Waffling as usual. I'll let you talk there, Byron. Sorry, Brian.
Brian. Don't get me in trouble, for God's sake.
I'm
looking for the pin on your
Volkswagen on your T-shirt.
I know, sorry about that, but it is the T2 on my T-shirt because I do love the T2 camper. Where's the pin that you've decided you're throwing me on your map? Then I couldn't see where you've
Oh yeah,
dumped
you
it
like
now.
that, don't you? I'll have to find the pin. I haven't found one big enough yet. I'm going to make sure I got one for next time.
Right, Byron. Again, I expressed how impressed I was with the work that you were doing behind the scenes and all of that sort of stuff. And I think you've been busy again for this weekend, which is a week and a half away. What have you got to share with us, mate?
Yeah, I've got a couple of bits of news for the club for basically for prizes. One of them's relating to the existing sponsor Scalextric, which I must say correctly this time. I kept saying it wrong last time. And the other one is a new company that are supporting the club, and that company's called Silverhand. And they are producers. They've got a huge vineyard not too far from here, and they're producers of English sparkling wine. And they're going to support us by giving us bottles. I think I'm right in saying this, Stuart. We want to try and use the podium for as much as we can.
Yeah.
And they're going to support us for sparkling English wine, Brut, which is basically a champagne. For the second one,
in trouble for that one.
What's that? Yeah, I know. I thought better explain it. But yeah, so that's what they're offering. They're giving us all of the Charmat, is it? I don't know. English. I need to find out a bit more. Anyway, it's called Silver Rain, and it's produced by Silverhand Estate. They're supplying all of that for the winning podium for the drivers to either drink, spray, whatever. But we'll get some good pictures of it, and it'll be in the second race of the day. Well, Super Tour's only race on the Saturday, but the second race of the day, I think, is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. No, thank you for that. And as if by magic, it appeared over to our side here.
Looks like a plan there, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But fair shout, nicely done. That's a nice touch on that one. So thank you for your work on that one.
And the second one is Scalextric. They've been really supportive, and I'd asked them a few months ago if they'd be interested in, or I know actually it might have been those guys that's mentioned it. I can't remember, but in any case, they produced some special edition caps for the club, only for the winners. And Chris, I believe you've got a slide for us.
Look at that.
So they
Chris
are actually the middle cap.
tonight.
Yeah, the middle cap. Sorry, the middle picture. It will have a winner's laurel screen printed on the front there as well. So yeah, those we're going to give out to the winner of each series. So even if the race is combined, so for instance, I'm just looking here, we've got like race 3 on the Saturdays, Boss, Historic Thunder and Classic Thunder. The winner of each of those will get a cap. So we're trying to sort of spread the prizes around as best we can. We haven't got unlimited amount of these. There are only a limited number, I think something like 35 caps. So we just got to spread them around. But they're a nice little touch. They're completely exclusive. They're a one-off to this event, and the cost for that has been entirely covered by Scalextric.
Oh wow!
We'll be producing a special edition cap, but without the embossing on the side. So it will just have the retro logo, which you will be able to buy from their web shop, hopefully before the event, but if not very soon.
But I love that. So in other words, it's got the Scalextric on the front, which is really cool. It's got the racing club's logo on the one side, but that sort of like snapshot of time is that Super Touring Power 3 on the other side. I just think that's brilliant because you know when that's from.
Yeah, that's it. It's a really, really special prize, exclusive prize, and it is only for the winners of each of the series, not the class winners, but the series. Yeah.
Fine. Is that on top of Stu? You were saying earlier about the Tamiya models as well.
Yes. So Tamiya are we have a retro car kit for the winners, and also smaller model kits for the second and third place. So then basically drivers have a huge amount of stuff to carry if they've won the race.
Yeah.
Basically. And a trophy, they get one of them as well. So yeah, you know, we've tried to really get as much as we can for the drivers. Ultimately, it's those people putting on the show. There's, you know, sometimes I feel that the drivers don't always get what they should. We can't obviously discount any more on the race entries. We can't do anything about that, but we can try and give them as much love as we possibly can. All they've got to do is win a race.
Well, or you know, there is for second and third, they get reduced models on it.
Yeah.
But Byron, I'm going to ask you, are you racing this year? I didn't look to see whether you're racing this year, Byron.
Yes, yeah, I am. I'm certainly racing at Super Touring Power 3. Looking forward to that.
Cool.
Can't believe there's 2 current touring car drivers on the same grid.
Well, I mean, that was, you know, what I was about to say for the drivers is as well as the efforts of what could be won if you're at the, you know, the top echelons of your championship, is that I've spoken to a lot of the drivers that have said, whether, like you've just said, the people that you might be against, but the party atmosphere, the crowd that's there, and all, you know, watching the racing and off circuit, is that it's like suddenly becoming the rock star for the weekend type thing.
It's mega. I feel so fortunate to be able to be part of it. Not just the I mean, the drivers is incredible, but last year, for instance, we were in the Kentagon, and there's all the old 90s touring car drivers like hobnobbing around, you know, and we had, I was sat at a table and John Cleland comes over and we're just chatting for 20 minutes, something like that. And Alan Menuel, or it's just, it was, you know, just insane, surreal. So and with those cars as well, those period Group A cars, incredible. Those things. I had the RS 500 last year going past me. I must have been doing 50 mile an hour more at the end of the straight. It was just phenomenal.
I mean, they're the cars and the stars that got us into racing in the first place.
Just so fortunate, and I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely baking sitting in those cars, but who cares?
I must admit, I did think today, I was like, if it's going to be like this, we need to get the marshals some water. But I'll discuss that with MSV, because it's going to be hot standing out there all weekend watching us go round and round.
And it is, and I tell you what, from the driver's perspective, is that you also need to be very, very careful of this. Everybody assumes, when I speak to people that maybe aren't so au fait with racing, they kind of go, oh, I bet when it's raining, that's when it's most risky. And I've always said, actually, no, do you know what? We get more incidents when it's screaming hot.
Yeah.
You know, I remember at Brands Hatch some years ago, is that there was a big incident on the straight towards Hawthorne, on the straight. And it's because, excuse me, because when you're all in there with all your overalls and everything else and the helmet and you're that hot, if you haven't hydrated properly, you haven't got all your faculties there, really. They start getting, you know, compromised, and people like me and Stu haven't got many there anyway. So
No. Speak for yourself, darling. But yeah.
No, I dragged you down with me, mate. So, you know, it is. I mean, it's going to be a big deal. And Tom Davies, he's one of the ones that will be there in orange. He said, please, because it is in boiler suits. Mark Finney says, good work, Byron. Well done, mate. And I echo that as well.
Yeah, I do as well. It's a fantastic job that he's done for us this year. No, we all appreciate it very much.
Yeah, welcome.
No, and it looks good. Some great stuff that's been added there. Before I sort of like get onto the final couple of questions, then anything from your side, Byron, that we need anybody to know that we haven't already said?
If there was, I've forgotten it.
That's fine. It wasn't loaded. It wasn't loaded. It was just in case. Big Dog. Any from you that anybody needs to know?
No, not really. I'm just going to open up my stuff to talk about folder, just to double check. But that was it. The very, very important thing is that David at MSV said to me, could you remind everybody that the drinks reception in the Kentagon, which my good friend James Dunkley did make me laugh. He said, because only you could get the CTCRC to eat canapes. And that is at 6:45 the drinks reception is in the Kentagon. So if everyone could try and get themselves to the Kentagon for that sort of time, there is free booze and free food.
I'm going to have to drive straight up to the.
Literally, I'm going to get out, run across the roof of my car like a Dukes of Hazzard, and go straight into the free bar. But yeah, they've got a drinks reception. We do a little bit. We've got Charlie Cox is going to do I believe, going to do a little bit on the stage, just a conversation. I always get dragged up to do my bit, but please do come along. We love everyone to be there, have a chat, friendly. There's going to be everybody from all around in there having a drink, and obviously have the disco on and the rest of it later on in the evening. But as you know, as much as we like to race, we also like to party as well, and that starts at 6:45 in the Kentagon.
Well, fabulous. Okay, that answers that one. That's cool. I'm even more gutted that I'm missing it now, I must be honest.
I've got a violin around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's the smallest one, mate. At least it'll cost you less in booze if I'm not there, so that's fine.
True.
In terms of the briefings, as you said, the timings are on the
timetable that will be sent out the next day or so.
And it's on the MSVR website. If you needed to go to that one, you go to msvr.com and go to this event, and it's on there. Although that is issue 1, so I don't know whether there's any changes.
That's it. They just basically Joe sort of left it as long as and then that is it.
Fine.
Change.
And that includes not only the times for briefings, but where they are as well, because you've got a mixture. Some are in the media centre, that's the Legends briefing room, Halewoods. That's not you guys. So you guys are all in the briefing room actually, so that's fine. And it talks about scrutineering.
One other thing, the club barbecue is still taking place as well. So for those that finish a bit earlier, I believe Mark Chollerton's probably watching this. He'll text me in a second. We normally do it from 6 o'clock. We'll send everything out on the WhatsApp group. For those who just want to have go to the barbecue and then walk up to the Kentagon, they can, because there's not lots of food at the Kentagon. It's just nibbles. For those who want a bit of dinner, go to the barbecue. And sign on. That is very important. Holly just texted me about driver sign on. We need to make sure everybody is signed on before the race meeting. So please, if you're getting emails from Bark, please respond to them and sign on.
Yes, definitely do it. I've still got memories as well. When you're talking about the Kentagon, is that I went up to the Kentagon and caught up with you all, and Colin then proceeded to try desperately to get me absolutely hammered. He was double parking me the whole time because he was determined to see how I would get on the next day commentating with a hangover. Right. And I didn't have a hangover. I was fine.
I'm not sure what to take from that story, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I sounded way too proud about that, didn't I? That's not right, is it? If my daughter came home and started saying stuff like that, I wouldn't be happy. So
I'm more concerned about Colin double parking yet, to be honest. But yeah, it was. But it's it's a shame. It is a shame, but there is always next year.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. And you've booked me for February the 14th now as well to do the awards, so that'll always be good.
So the awards dinners then, and we're going to do one other thing because the attendance was so quite frankly rubbish this year at the AGM. We will do the AGM online on the WebEx type thing, so people to just encourage more people to get involved because there was about 10 people there this year, so. Lots of people had very strong opinions, and that's great, but they should have come if they wanted to really wanted to tell people. So we're going to do it via the WebEx and go from there. And also as well, if people have suggestions for regulation changes for 2026, they need to get them in ASAP. Email inquiries@classictouringcars.com and they'll be dealt with by a member of the committee, and then we will put them forward and vote on them, etc., whatever they're to do. But please, if you're sitting there now and going, do you know what, I don't think it's fair that all red cars are allowed to win or whatever, put it forwards and email inquiries@classictouringcars.com for next year. And that needs to happen now.
Yeah, and I need you. I encourage you to do it because even if you're sat there, and this is experience from other things, not this, but is that if you're sat there going, oh yeah, but I'm sure other people will do it.
No, it won't.
Regs, well, they might not do, but equally, if there's actually only one or two people, it means it wouldn't necessarily get into the regs, because things need to be shown to be being backed by a lot of people. And so if there's then a lot of people saying the same thing, that's of help to you guys, isn't it?
It is. And there's something I want to add as well before people do sort of suddenly pile in and send us lots of emails, is no racing drivers ever sent a regulation that makes their car slower.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
That's all
so
that's concerned the matter.
they are interpreted fairly once you get them, aren't they? Yes, yeah. Cut through it. Totally understand. Mark Finney says, what time can we gain access on Friday?
We get the keys to the circuit. 6 o'clock. I think it's 6 o'clock. There's a track, right? So there's testing on Friday. Super Tour Power is a bit like Glastonbury, right? Everyone wants to get there from the Tuesday, right? I'm going to mention my friend Anton, who likes to get there. He's settled in on Tuesday, right? He's there, right? Because he likes to get his spot, and that's absolutely fine by me. Officially, it's 6. I think it's 6 o'clock after the track day or testing has finished. However, everyone who's testing is pretty much us. There's, because and obviously there's going to be some legends there, all the rest of it. So officially, I have to tell you, 6 o'clock, because that's what it says in the finals.
Well, the finals that I'm just looking at now is it actually says outer paddock access Thursday 5:30, GP paddock Friday 9 p.m.
Yeah. Yes.
So I guess that really means is that from any time on Thursday you can be getting in there. But
well, and this is the thing is, so David and his team will be laying out the car show Friday morning. To give an example, I think we were all directed to park outside. We ended up in the, the car parks over the back, like on the grass.
Yeah.
And we ended up carrying all our stuff down there. So officially, it's kind of 6. I would suggest people. I don't want to ill-advise people. I think it's every man for himself. There you are. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, because if I say, you can all get in and everyone's on the queue, they're all going to be on me. I say you can all get in at 6 o'clock, they go, wow, we had loads of time. It says that in the finals. I wasn't told that. I was told 6 o'clock.
Fine. So we'll go with yours, mate. That's no problem. I think that has covered everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's one last thing. The paddock plan will go out. Please follow the paddock plan. It's very clear. I want the club. Well, one of the things that Adam brought up actually last year was people said that the paddock looked sparse. Because Bernie's V8s with us on the Saturday, and then off they went. So we're going to be all kind of this side of Howwoods, so up towards the shower block. All of that will be CTCRC. Everybody else will be kind of down the bottom, if you like, and out the way, so that when they go on Saturday night, the paddock won't look sparse. So please do try and follow that as best you can. I'm not the parking attendant. I just get told what to do like everybody else, but I'm just trying to convey this across to everybody. And also, just to go back on that, the piece about when you can access the circuit, my lady wife just texted me actually and said, actually, I'll confirm it in an email of when people can get in, so that no one's confused.
Fair enough.
There you go. That's the final. That is the paddock plan. That's the final paddock plan. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah. So nice load of space, and you got the Classic Sports Car Club, Wasp and Tin Tops over there, and the Legends in the back corner, etc. So there you go. I just suddenly saw that it's on the msvr.co.uk. It's not .com. It's .co.uk. So I thought that would be helpful. So there we go. Wicked. All right, guys, I enjoyed that one. That was a really cool one. And Byron, thank you for all your work on that. Plus, it was great to get that insight of just how exciting it is from a driver's perspective for this in a week and a half. So does that mean you've got your car ready, or are you going to start that in a week?
Yeah, no. Car's ready. Car's ready. I had it done yesterday. A couple more jobs, ready to go. So yeah, it feels
Good
quite
man.
quite a relaxed run up actually.
I like it. I like it. Well, best of luck in your competing as well. Have a fabulous weekend.
Cheers,
Big
thank you.
Dog, brilliant to have a drink and a natter with you again, mate.
Yeah, it's good.
Well done for all yours and the team's work on getting to this point as well. And
Thank you.
in a week and a half, it'll all be worth it, buddy. And have all of you have a wonderful time and a safe time. And I'll raise a glass for you all as you're having a wonderful time.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you.
Cheers, Chris.
Take it
Cheers,
steady,
guys.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Have a safe-
Take care.
Have a safe
Bye.
Super Touring Power 3.